Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on today's video, then you too must be an aficionado of Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of like the public commons at this point. I've sold things on there, I've bought things off of there, and lately one of the best things that I like to do on Marketplace is go and scroll the original oil paintings. People, artists, they post their oil paintings on there and it's really interesting. And I'm going to judge them with you. Just a little disclaimer, if it's your art or if you don't agree with me, I'm not trying to be a hater, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I will say I'm not brave enough to put my original art out onto the internet for sale. So if you're doing that, you're braver than me. I applaud you. Don't take this too seriously. But let's get into this. So starting out, looking at some of the good stuff on the home page, we're going to search. You can see here, I'm a real one. I'm searching for these oil paintings. Let's see what's new. So if you can't already tell, there are some local scenes from the city I live in. I'm not going to share the poster or the artist just because I don't want this to like come back to them in a weird way. I want to respect their privacy, but this artist has posted a lot of paintings and they're all kind of vignettes of the city of Seattle. I will say, I think this is mostly kind of around the same tone. Like if I squint, I think many of the values are the same, and I think it would be better if some of the values were a bit more distinct. I think this is from the same artist. You can tell that she does a lot of landscapes, and I do like the urban feel. Interesting. I'm not for sale glitter painting. Created with acrylic and glitter. Interesting. That is kind of entertaining. Let's try to find something I like. I kind of like this. Original from 1999. The colors, you know, they're kind of in the same shade range, but I like the composition. Like this coming in from the right, and then your eyes kind of drift down to here. I think it feels really moody. The frame complements it really well. Would I pay $0 for this? Yes. Oh my gosh, wait, no, they're selling it at a local gallery for $8,200. Oof. Okay. All right, moving on. Blue-green oil on canvas for $200. Comes framed. 18 by 24. Okay. I will say I don't mind it. I like the colors. I think with the frame, it's a good price, it's a good size. I'm not sure about the composition. I'm not quite sure where my eyes are supposed to go. Maybe I just don't know enough about composition, but would I pay $200 for this? Sure. Why not? It's not my style. I personally, wait a minute. I personally would not pay $200 for this. All right. Original oil painting of Cannon Beach, Oregon, ready to hang. 11 by 14, original art. These, I don't know if I'm super passionate about it, but it comes in a nice frame. The frame kind of complements it well. Would I pay $80 for this? Maybe not, but original oil painting, PNW Mountain. Now I don't mind this. I think the composition to me is a bit more noticeable. And based on the frame, it looks like it's from the same artist. I do like this. I like this more than the last one. The brushwork is a bit more interesting. I like the colors. See how the really dark darks are very sparingly used? The painting is mostly light. I think that is nice. I think that's makes interesting art. Would I pay $110 for this? Yes, I would. I will say something I have heard, I think from like an art collector on YouTube, is if you're looking to buy local art, or not even local art, you should always buy an artist's best work. And I have been on Marketplace looking at original oil paintings for a while now. I've seen this painter a few times and I think this is some of their better work. I would buy this. Let's look at this. It's a still life. We've got some fruits, got a kettle. Looks like it's an older painting. Original price was $235. It's 16 by 20, so a good size. It's not too bad. I think the composition is interesting. Oh, they still have the price tag on it. That's funny. By Lee Whitney. I think going by the previous price that a painting was sold at is not the best, especially when you consider galleries where there's a lot of overhead. Like half the price of a painting goes to the gallery, so it doesn't make sense for like an $8,000 painting at a gallery to then be sold to me advertising the $8,000 original price. You know, like if you're not a gallery selling me a painting, there's a lot less overhead. Like it's not the same. Don't bring that up to me. But would I pay $100 for this? Probably not. I don't think the brushwork is incredible. I don't love the orange background. That's personal preference. The frame I like, and I think the composition is strong. I like this red apple, to be honest, but it's just not my style. Not my kind of still life. Okay, I think this is beautiful. Custom painting by a local Washington artist, signed, 36 by 48, so already really big size. This here is the artist, it looks like. I'll share that, I think that's fair. It looks like it's just this wave painting. It looks pretty well done. The composition isn't super interesting. I think it's maybe just this straight line, but it looks like waves, it looks like an ocean. I personally really like the color blue, and I find myself drawn to buying blue art really frequently, so would I pay $300 for this? Yeah, I would. I don't think it's quite my style, but if it was, I would pay $300 for it, sure. So what do I look for when I'm buying paintings or art online? I'm looking for, you know, do I like the colors? Is technique strong? Is the drawing good? Is the brushwork interesting? And I'm looking at the size. I used to buy a lot of small art, and a lot of the time you need big pieces to really fill your home, unless you're making a gallery wall, which I'm personally not super passionate about, but I know a lot of people are. But I prefer like one big painting to like 20 paintings in a gallery wall. So I look for big art. And of course, that gets expensive in the gallery. So I gotta look at Marketplace. Let's look at this. Large handmade painting for $130. Best for wabi-sabi, modern and Scandinavian themed homes. I don't love that. It's really big, 40 by 50 inch, I would agree. And an antique golden frame, I do like that. So this is something I see really often, is people advertising their textured art, which is similar to this. You know, you can tell like not a lot of skill went into it, but maybe a lot of repetition, and you know, it's really textured. I see people selling this and it seems like there's a market for it, right? People buy it. I personally am not really drawn to it, and I don't really understand why they call it textured. Like, is that a selling point? I don't know, I don't get it. Would I pay $130 for this? No. Looks like it's been listed for 2 weeks, maybe dropped from $250 originally, so I don't know. I just don't think it's that interesting with the black and the texture. Acrylic painting, orange, purple, blues, Skagit Valley and Mount Baker. 16 by 12, original. Okay. I don't mind the drawing of the mountain and the trees. I think the colors work well together. The size is good. For $10, would I buy this? Sure, if I really liked it. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Ooh, interesting. Thorn bugs. I don't know what that is. Acrylic on canvas. Oh man, these look freaky. Are there bugs like this? This photo composition is insane. It just gets closer and closer. I'm scared. It's $300. Would I pay for this? Probably not. I don't like bugs like that. I don't think I'm really driven by the composition personally. I don't love the colors. I don't like the subject. I think $300, it's a pretty fair price, but I personally would not spring for that. All right, let's look at this. I think I maybe know the artist. This is interesting. This is someone I've seen post their oil paintings for a few months now. They're trying to fund their life as an artist by selling their work through Facebook Marketplace, which is a really interesting technique. There's a couple of artists that I see really frequently on Marketplace. And this guy, I just recognized by his style. This is a strawberry study. It's an original 10 by 10. I like the background, I like blue. I know this artist's style and I don't know, I don't mind it. I don't know if this is my cup of tea, especially for $115. Maybe if it was framed, I would be like, yeah, okay. But unframed, I don't know, it's like an extra expense. Let's look at this artist profile. So I don't know why it's showing me this in a modal. Facebook, this is a downgrade. I just want to see their whole profile. But anyway, see, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the style. It's loose and rigid, I would say. I think these Oreos are a really good example of that. You know, it's very rigid lines, lots of blue backgrounds, a 16 by 20. I don't mind this. For $380, I don't know if I would buy that, but if you really like Oreos, you should go for it. This is kind of interesting. It seems like the bottom of the apple is kind of melting into this. I wonder what the intent was behind that. The brushwork seems interesting though. I like that you can see the individual brush strokes and yeah, this kind of yellow background. I don't mind it. Okay. An original acrylic on aged French deckled paper done by me. Sometimes people say things and I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't get it. Aged French deckled paper must be interesting. It does look nice. This sun, it's kind of blending into the background. I don't know if I'm super passionate about this pink. For $75, yeah. For handmade paper, original acrylic painting, how big is it? Doesn't say. It doesn't look too big. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. I don't think I would personally buy this, but I think I'm picky, and it's good to be picky. You should be picky about the art you buy. Otherwise, you're gonna like look at it in a few months and be like, what the hell? Not speaking from experience. I would never do that. Abstract black and white art print. I don't know. See, this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, for $10, sure. Kind of looks like something you would get at Target, which is fine. You can get that at Target. It's fine. It's cheap. If you like it, who cares? But yeah, for $10, that's probably a good deal, actually. I don't know if it's original. Could be. I feel like big box stores, they don't just sell like canvas paper like that. Well, I think that's enough for now. Thanks for watching this video. If you had fun, please like and subscribe. Support your local artist. None of this is that deep. Be nice to people if they're putting their work out onto the internet. I just thought it was fun to kind of look at it together and, you know, consider, like, would you buy this? Okay, that's all. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.